I think it'll be better. Welcome. I'd like to call the Public Works and Planning Committee meeting to order for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. We'll call the roll, please.
Commissioner Cush,
Present.
Commissioner Piercy,
Here.
Commissioner P,
Here.
Commissioner James,
Here.
Commissioner Dodd,
Here.
Commissioner Boyd,
Here.
Chairman Johnson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, next we have approval of the minutes. Vice Chair Phil Dodd.
Thank you, Chairman. I have read the minutes, find them to be in order, and move for their adoption.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Public comments, we have one. That's Laura Clark, solid waste disposal. Welcome.
I'm speaking tonight about something I'm sure that every one of you already know about, but it is to express my concern. On October 30th, 2025, BFI filed with TDEC a major permit modification application, and it was signed by Lindsay Turtle, General Manager of Republic. Again, October 30th. The request in this document, which was 600 plus pages, was to expand Middle Point landfill by removing the cap off of the area with the aluminum waste in it, which was capped in order to keep it safe and keep the heat from generating from that particular kind of waste. So this request submitted to TDEC would allow Republic to accept trash in Middle Point until 2046 instead of the proposed closure, which was estimated to be 2027, 2029, something like that. But they want to expand it in order to continue to receive trash, and their proposal calculates up to 2046. They're doing this despite the many voices in our county and our city who are opposed to the expansion of the landfill. They're doing it in spite of a safety record since 2018, which includes 12 notices of violations per the TDEC records. And they're doing it in spite of the fact that they've really lost legitimacy and trustworthiness in this community because of their misleading ways. The example would be a mailer they sent out once, which was very, very misleading. And the fact that we have been vocal in saying we don't want to expand Middle Point. We just want to continue until it's full and close it. But BFI, being the corporation, I get it, but they're proposing to expand it. I'm asking you in the commission here, please, would you use what the governing power that you have and the personal influence that you have to speak to whomever we need to speak to stop the expansion that is proposed by Middle Point to accept waste until 2046. That's my request of the commission. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. And next we were going to have Donna Barrett. She was going to have a presentation, but she had some data that she needed for that, and all of it didn't come in, so she'll be on the next month's agenda. Okay. Next we have Highway Department, Ms. Mary Hickerson. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm Mary Hickerson, the Department Coordinator at the Rutherford County Highway Department.
Tonight, I am bringing to y'all, we had our road board meeting yesterday morning. Everyone, all the commissioners should have got their green road book in your files. This is what we're bringing. It was, a motion was made and approved unanimously yesterday at the meeting. We are currently on this road book with 997 basically 0.5 miles for this year that we can maintain. And just a little data that I have kind of been upkeeping. Mr. Brooks took office September 1st, 2012. When he did so, we had 964 road miles. Today, we have 997 and a half road miles. And just for, everybody talks about cost and the cost of the increased budgets and our line items. So when Mr. Brooks took office, our asphalt line item was $3.2 million. Today, it's $4.5 million. Just so you know, a cost to do 1 mile of road asphalt cost only. Not labor, not striping, asphalt cost only. Mr. Brooks took office. It was $62,399 a road mile. Today, it is $75,710 to do 1 road mile for asphalt only. So if you put the numbers to it, that is an increase of $13,311 since 2012, which is a 21% increase in that time frame. So I realize I'm here just presenting the road book, but it took an opportunity for us to explain with these 997 road miles what it cost and why the budget for the highway department is like it is, but how well we do manage for the amount that is budgeted for our asphalt line item and just our overall general budget for the highway department. So thank you for allowing me to kind of toot our horn a little bit on being able to manage and do this, but I am here for you to approve the road book.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Dodd?
just one question. I think you'll know, how many miles rolled off? How many miles were annexed?
Okay,
Is it on the front?
it's a total, I have to break it down for y'all. It's a total of 997.49 total road miles. Of that, 658.62 is county road miles, and the subdivision streets in that is 338.86 road miles. That's what we've got this year. So we've seen over the span of time, our county road miles have decreased, but our subdivision road miles have increased in the span of when Mr. Brooks took office, and actually since even 2000. So, like I said, that's my report.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Chairman,
Mr. Piercy?
I'll make the motion to approve her report in the road book.
We have a motion and a second to approve the report and the road book.
Mr. Cush. Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, it's approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, now we have the Building Codes Director, Tanya Bell. Hello.
Good evening, Commissioners. I am
Evening.
Tanya Bale with the Building Code Director of the Building Codes Department with our monthly report for November. And our building permit summary report for November is we issued a total of 276 permits. 40 of those were single-family dwellings for a total revenue of $180,854.75. And moving on to school facilities tax. we collected a total of $557,706.75 in school facilities tax and 0 in development tax this past month, for a total cumulative school facilities tax of $3,638,111.17. And finally, our zoning enforcement inspections. We had a total of 83 inspections for the month of November. And that concludes my report.
Okay, we have any questions?
Motion to approve the report.
We have a motion and a second to approve the report. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great evening.
We have the Solid Waste and Convenience Centers Assistant Director Davis. This says assistant, but I'm still going,
Thank you.
you're doing more than that. You're the director.
Proud to serve. My name is Matt Davis, and I'm your interim solid waste director. In the month of November, the Rutherford County landfill processed 117.18 tons of brush for a revenue of $3,521. We managed 684 tires for revenue of $1,730. That total revenue for the landfill is $5,251. The solid waste department managed 3,097.37 tons of waste from all sources in the month of November, 2,274.78 tons came from convenience centers. 446.74 tons came from schools. We recycled and diverted 375.85 tons from all sources, which makes our diversion rate 12.13% for last month. The county transfer station processed about 7,098.13 tons of waste in November. This concludes our normal report.
Any
Matt, how
questions?
much of that was out of county waste?
I'll have that on the end of the quarter. Will be should be by next month's meeting.
Any other questions? Mr. Piercy?
On our recyclables, you may not have it there at your fingertips. How many trips to Nashville did it take to move that? Do you have any idea?
To move how much?
To move what we collected in this report?
I'm estimating about 60 to 65. And let me, I can get you a firm number on that. If you like, I'd be happy to.
Maybe for the next meeting.
Sure.
And I would like, if you can, get me an amount of what WM is bringing in tonnage-wise versus all other.
That's in here.
Is it in there?
On the last 2 pages, no, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. I can get it for you easily.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. James?
Matt, I'm wondering, what would it take for us to make our convenience centers more convenient? And by that meaning, I've been trying to do for the last month and a half or so that Recycle Right, the solid waste board recommended by sending as many things everywhere. And although it's very helpful to really minimize how much trash I'm actually having to dispose of, it's almost a full-time job trying to get around to everywhere. How can we try to find our recyclable abilities at our convenience centers for John Q. resident out there to minimize how many different trips they're doing? Or is there any kind of approaches? And this might be too much of a loaded question now. Might need to work on
It's something
that.
I'd be glad to work with you on.
Yeah.
As far as, number one, we need to better educate people on what's possible with what we have now. We can recycle most items in all 14 of our centers. we're in an RFP process that's going to make a couple things hopefully more convenient for more residents. That's not complete yet, so I don't know if I can be public about it yet. But that's coming. And we're also looking at steps we can take strategically to help more residents get through the lines faster, with just the demand is so high. How can we look at each site and see what kind of tweaks and improvements we can make that'll make it, where they have to spend less time in line and still get the best service we can provide.
Yeah, I'd like to continue having more discussions on figuring out some other alternatives that we can put together and come up with. Just have some thoughts on that and
Absolutely.
run them by you and touch base with it, see what we can line up. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Move to approve.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes, I got one. About signage. I mean, if you go to the convenience centers, you've got signs, go this way, but they're basically on a poster board.
Right.
With a magic marker. I think we could get a little more professional with those signs. I mean, not that we have to be that nice, but I'll give you an example. I think it was Veterans Day. County offices were closed, convenience centers were closed. I happened to drive down Weekly Lane, which I live out past the convenience center on G Street. And there was 10, 12 cars in line waiting to get in there. And I was shocked that they didn't know. And there's no sign up. It just says that we're not open on these days. We need a sign that just, if you put up a sign that says closed holiday.
So,
I think, I don't know if we'd have to put it out for bid for the signage, but I know of one business in particular in Smyrna that would be real good about helping you get some good signage at these locations. It would help our customers a lot.
absolutely. That is something, I actually have some quotes out for better signs in the centers, as far as just showing our hours and just the most basic rules. That hopefully will help, just that better awareness outside the center, but also driving traffic inside the center to help people.
I'll just say, since Matt took over, he's been very cooperative on all the issues like that, and I really appreciate it, because we had spoken, I think it was like 2 months ago, about the signage, and he actually took pictures of what we had and was putting that into the works. So I appreciate your due diligence. Anyone else? Mr. Phillips, Chairman Phillips.
Matt, can you update this committee next month as to where that signage stands and
Absolutely.
how you're progressing on that?
Absolutely.
Also, if you go on the county website, it's posted there the days that we're open, and it is posted there. I had a complaint, and I called, and I don't know where the other post was, but it was posted 2 different ways, and I think that's been taken care of. But that was no fault of Director Davis or it was just, I don't know who put it out there. I don't think it was really a county posting, but I think that's taken care of now. But if you ever have any doubt or question about when the convenience centers are open, just go on the website, and it's pretty clear there. So, thank you.
The county website, rutherfordcountytn.gov/solid waste, is the best information. We keep it updated pretty well.
Okay, we had a motion. Is that a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the report. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? No.
Also have to present to you tonight a couple of budget amendments. The first one relates to the TDEC recycling rebate grant that we discussed last month. TDEC came back and offered us an additional $40,000 plus. I have that exact amount with me. But it does require a match from the county, and so we're asking for a budget amendment to support that.
So they're offering an additional 40
Yes,
if we match 40.
yes.
So it's like finding money in the street.
Half of it.
Do we want to take these one at a time? These two budget amendments?
Yeah, that exact amount is $40,453.72.
All right. I would make a motion to approve.
Have a motion and a second to approve the grant. We need to take this to vote. So we'll have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Boyd,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Cush,
Yes.
Commissioner Piercy,
Yes.
Commissioner P,
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
The other budget amendment we have relates to the Class 3 project at the Old County landfill. We started this in September, where the landfill was underfilled in some places and overfilled in some places. Basically, we're working every day the weather lets us. We're doing it with our own department staff. And basically, we've almost used up our equipment rental budget that we set aside for this project. We're asking to move $80,000 that will fund the rental equipment that we're using through the end of the fiscal year.
You're moving that money from an account that you're going to buy a truck, I think.
We were going to do that, and Michael suggested we do it from the assigned balance.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
Just one quick one, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Matt, this money coming from public health and welfare, is that correct? You covered that with Michael Smith.
Yeah, this was his suggestion.
So
Yes.
he's suggesting that's
Yes.
where it's coming from. Thank you.
Hey, we have a motion
Second.
and a second to approve the transfer of $80,000 for equipment rental. Any other discussion?
Or question. Matt, do you think that will finish up this project, or is this going to be a continuous, forever kind of a?
My best estimate is that it might. I think it's possible it could take into next fall. Every section we work, we don't know what we're finding until we dig into it. And if the weather's good and the work goes fast, it may be enough to be done with it this fiscal year. But I really hesitate to make like a firm prediction on it.
Okay, will you refresh mine and the rest of the committee's memory about, was this because of a TDEC
Yes.
suggestion that we were thick and thin?
It's,
And we were having some washouts because of rain, kind of a thing?
It'll help prevent that kind of thing. The slope should be a 3-to-1
Right.
rise, and anything steeper than that can be problematic if could cause landslides or exposed trash if it should wash away. Where that 3-to-1 slope is kind of the standard that TDEC approved for our
Okay.
permit.
So are we then seeding, putting ground cover
Yeah.
on all the
Once we
work
reach,
areas?
it's kind of a 3-step thing. We have to get the waste to its proper grade. We're putting 18 inches of compacted clay soils on top of that, and then 12 inches of topsoil on top of that, which then it's going to get probably hydro-seeded.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, is TDEC watching our progress
Yes.
on this, and they're,
They visited 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then I regularly communicate with them and our engineers.
okay, so they come out and kind of give it the eyeball and say, doing good?
The last time they came out, I think they were surprised at our progress, and they commented about the quality of the work being done.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Kush? Commissioner Piercy? Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner James? Commissioner Dodd?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a Planning and Engineering report, Director Doug DeMasi. Welcome, Doug.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, committee members. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. We just have our regular reports tonight. Our first is our available lot inventory. You'll see that as of the end of November of this year, our total available lots is 1,107. That is up about 130-ish or so from last month. Big reason being is we had a pretty large subdivision section approved. That would have been for Southern Harmony out there on Franklin Road. They have very big sections. You know, this was about 150-ish lots, something like that. So that's not uncommon for that development. They're moving along pretty well. And of course, coupled with that, with the slowdown that we typically see this time of year as far as building permit activity, that's not surprising that we see an increase in the total available lot inventory. So if there's no questions on that, I will go ahead and go into our rezoning reports. You will have 2 applications for your consideration next week. You'll see on the cover sheet of the memo for the Planning and Engineering's report, there's actually 3 cases. The first case, item A, Carlos Concrete Construction for property on Joe Brown Road, that was recommended for denial. The applicant has decided not to move that application forward at this time. So we do have 1 rezoning application and then 1 ordinance amendment that I'll explain to you here. The first is the rezoning application. This is for a piece of property located along Shelbyville Pike. This is by Javier Olvera. It's about 34 acres. However, they're not looking to zone the entire tract. They're only looking to zone about 15 acres of the property. Applicant has been storing construction equipment on this property, such as concrete forms and other related equipment, along with business vehicles. They do not have zoning approval for that. We did find out about this, and we had a meeting with the applicant back in September to discuss the situation and some possible ways to ameliorate the subject or the property. We stressed also to the applicant that the importance of obtaining proper zoning approval prior to starting any non-residential activity where it's not zoned. The applicant did submit a concept plan as part of his application that we're considering tonight and will consider at the County Commission meeting next week, demonstrating his development intentions. Again, it's not a plan development, but it does give you an idea of how they want to move forward. That concept plan is included with your staff report. As I stated a little earlier, they are looking to zone about 15 acres of a 34-acre site. There's a storage area identified near the front of the property with security fencing. Not much detail regarding the rest of the property that they're going to leave unzoned or zoned currently as residential low density, but there wouldn't be any reason for that just because of the fact that they're not planning on doing anything with it. Since this is along Shelbyville Pike, this is a state/federal road, they will have to have TDOT approval for any new or improved access points, which will have to be shown on an engineered site plan. The applicant is aware of that. A type 2 buffer is also required between any commercially and residentially zoned property, which is shown on the concept plan. This would take effect, should the property be rezoned, then when we'd see the site plan at that time, we would also see the landscaping plan at that point. The Planning Commission did have some questions about the portion of the property being requested for rezoning. We did point that out for clarity on the maps that we used during the meeting. The applicant's representative described the activity in more detail, primarily storage of equipment and work vehicles. Stated really the reason that this had happened was the applicant had taken on more jobs and had gotten ahead of himself with storage of equipment on the property. During the public hearing, there were a couple people who spoke. They live actually off of Polly Thicket Road. This property, when you look at the map, actually extends from Shelbyville Pike all the way down to Polly Thicket. However, they're not looking to zone that portion of the property that actually fronts along Polly Thicket Road, so we did explain that during the meeting. Following the public hearing, the Planning Commission did ask to make sure that a site plan would be required. We answered that it would, and it also, we reiterated that TDOT approval would also be needed for the access point. There was a question also about potential quarrying on the site. We did answer that there's no approval for that, but that we would make sure that that was not going on, and the applicant's representative also stated that he would make sure with the applicant that he wasn't doing anything like that on the property. The Planning Commission also asked about the access to Polly Thicket Road, what that might look like in the future. We discussed that. Again, that's not part of this application, but we did discuss what that would look like. After that discussion, the Planning Commission did recommend approval by a unanimous vote. The other item on your agenda, again, is an ordinance amendment to the zoning. This is amendments to appendices B and C of our zoning ordinance concerning trash, compaction, and transfer station regulations. We did bring proposed regulations for transfer stations and trash compaction through the amendment process back in 2023. Those standards were approved back in August of 2023 and are currently in the zoning ordinance. They are classified as extensive impact facilities and are allowed by right in the heavy industrial zone or HI zone, and by special exception in light industrial and commercial general. But since we got to thinking about this and looking at this, and we felt that since this use, transfer stations and trash compaction typically deal with municipal solid waste, they should be treated the same as a sanitary landfill. Sanitary landfills are also classified as extensive impact facilities, but are only allowed by special exceptions in any zone where they're allowed. So they're not allowed by right in any of the zones. So what we're proposing here is simply to make transfer stations and trash compaction similar to what you would see for a landfill, sanitary landfill. That would require a couple of tweaks to the zoning ordinance, as you see on your iPads. We'd make a small tweak to the land use activity table in Appendix B, and then the land use index in Appendix C by adding that bolded and italicized language. The Planning Commission did consider these amendments back in last month's meeting on November the 10th and did recommend approval by a unanimous vote. Since this is a zoning ordinance amendment, it does require approval by the County Commission as well. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman, will there be does the zoning amendment require a public hearing?
Yes.
And that occurred at planning, or will
It already occurred at planning. We had the Planning Commission public hearing on November 10th.
advertised public hearing?
Correct. It'll just be like a regular rezoning public hearing, follow the same process, but that'll be at next week's County Commission meeting. Yes, sir.
And this classification is same as a
Sanitary landfill, correct.
Sanitary landfill?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know y'all vetted this in Public Works, or in Planning Commission, so I have no problems voting yes. But that, calling it a landfill sounds really onerous.
Well, it's not, it's it's classified as what's called an extensive impact facility. So you've got the main heading of extensive impact facility, and then you've got uses that are allowed under that. It's not just landfills, there's other uses that are in that as well. We're just, and transfer stations are included in that already. All we're saying is we don't want to see them by right in heavy industrial, we want to see them by special exception. So that has to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals. So we're not changing any of that.
And not escalating to having to be a Jackson Law approval of a transfer station.
No, this is a totally separate use in that regard.
Again, I know you guys have already vetted it, I'm just curious.
Mr. P.
You noted, I mean, I think you said in the, what is it, Mr. B on the agenda there, this was not a planned unit development.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And I've got a question about that. If you have a sand filtration system on a subdivision, would that not be part of a planned unit development?
Are you talking a step system?
Yes.
No, sir. That step systems, we would typically see those in a planned development application, but they're not. You're not required. A subdivision is not required to be a planned development in order to have a step system. We have quite a few subdivisions that aren't planned developments that are on step systems. because the reason they're going for planned developments is because a lot of the older PUDs that we've approved wanted smaller lots, but the ones that come through just under your regular zoning, your conventional zoning, 15,000 square foot, whatever, they can have step systems, they just don't have smaller lots.
All right.
Any other questions?
Doug, who will this potentially help and who will this potentially hurt, changing these two appendix?
Well, I don't know if it necessarily hurts or helps anybody. I think when we got to looking at it, we just thought since it deals with municipal solid waste, we should treat it the same as a sanitary landfill. So in that regard, we just start trying to treat it the same as a sanitary landfill. It deals with the same kind of material. So I'm not necessarily saying, I would say it gives us a little bit more oversight as far as if somebody were to come in on property where it was zoned heavy industrial. We don't have a lot of that in the county, heavy industrial zoning, but it allows us a little bit more oversight, knowing that if one does try to come in and they want to make an application, that they're going to have to go through a more extensive process for approval. So I wouldn't say it necessarily hurts or hinders anything.
Motion to approve report.
We have a motion and a second to approve the report. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, other business.
Chairman?
We have a resolution here tonight, so I didn't see it until about, 5 minutes before we started. So Commissioner Piercy, if you would just lead us into this.
This resolution has been crafted since it was voted on at the last full commission meeting. It went through steering last night with 7-0 vote of approval. There was some question about whether the solid waste committee, regional solid waste committee, should be added to this to maybe help them out in the future. Our attorney was going to look at it between last night and today. We didn't get a report on that request or his advice until just a little while ago. And I'm going to yield the floor to Chairman Phillips and let him read his reply.
Just a little bit of history. As most everyone knows, there is, it's not been introduced, but there is some conversation that there will be an attempt to adjust the Jackson Law at the state legislative level early next year. At Commissioner Piercy's suggestion at our last commission meeting, we put together a resolution opposing any adjustment to the Jackson Law, especially any that would take the authority to deal with that landfill away from local governments, such as Rutherford County. The steering committee looked at that resolution and passed it unanimously, added an amendment to that resolution, adding the regional solid waste management group to that. We had some discussion, and I've had some follow-up with Nick, and here's what Nick Christensen said, that the steering said about the Central Tennessee Solid Waste Regional Planning Board be added to the resolution to show that we support the continued existence of that board and that the county attorney is looking into it, so that addition will be subject to the county attorney's approval. In essence, what Nick is saying is that he's looking into it to see if that memo would strengthen or weaken that resolution, and will report back to the county commission before next month's meeting. So a resolution, a memo, I'm sorry, a motion to support the resolution probably should include this amendment that the county attorney is looking into. It would be my suggestion that we move to approve the resolution as amended in the steering committee.
Chairman?
Mr. Piercy.
With that being said, this is a very, to me, and I think for the entire county, is a very important resolution to be sent to our delegates, to just let them know where we stand. If we don't do something, and they continue on with the new committee they formed, and nobody here in Rutherford County says anything about it, they'll never know where we stood one way or the other. I'm very much against losing our Jackson Law. That's one of the very few tools we have to have any control whatsoever in our landfill, in our public landfill at all, to have any say-so on a new landfill, maybe part of an expansion. If they take this Jackson Law away from the 43 counties that have it in Tennessee, that will allow landfills to be put everywhere. They can put it a lot of places now because a lot of them have not adapted this law. I can't imagine a county not adapting this law so they would have to say so, yes or no, if they thought they needed a landfill. But no way possible do we need to lose any of our authority, nor do we need to entertain any type of amendment that might come from the state level. Because all that will do, there's 43 counties that have the Jackson Law. If an amendment is offered to this county for a year, and all the rest of them just go along with losing the law, we'll be engulfed in a year's time because we'll have nobody to support us at a state level to fight our fight for one county. We'll be all alone, and it will be lost forever at that point, is my opinion. That's my opinion. But I would encourage you to support this resolution. It needs full support from every county commissioner in Rutherford County. A strong, full 21 vote on the commission floor this coming Thursday night will mean more than a partial vote. It needs full county support. I'm going to make the motion that we approve this and send this on to the full county commission next Thursday night, including the possible amendment of adding the Solid Waste Authority onto this resolution. Right.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to send this resolution with our approval to the
If
county.
anyone needs time to look at it, if you would go to the downloads and go under the steering committee, it's under last night's, you can pull that up really quick. So if anyone needs to take a look at that.
I made copies.
Very good. Thank you.
The meat of it's on the last page, three or four bullet points.
Trying to remember where I was. Okay, we have a motion and a second to send this resolution on to the county commission, including possible change that adds a solid waste, regional solid waste to the resolution. Okay, any discussion? Mr. James?
I have a question for some clarity on this. I like the resolution as written. The amendment is my question on in sending this. Will we not be better off if we send this resolution also to the Solid Regional Waste Board to ask for their support in this venture to create their own resolution similar to this and to try to get the other 3 or 4 counties they represent to lockstep with this instead of trying to encompass them within this?
Commissioner James, not at this time until we pass it. It would be premature to send it to anyone until we pass it.
No, I'm talking about, yes, when we pass this, but I'm talking about instead of adding them as an amendment, we focus on our county and then send this to the regional board as well.
Let me just kind of reiterate, the amendment that was suggested at steering last night was to whether or not that language would support our position or weaken our position. Nick is looking into that and will give us a report before we vote on it at the full county commission level next week. Once again, as Commissioner Piercy said, it's my opinion that we want local control.
That's correct.
To add language giving someone else control of it is the question. Would giving the regional board, would that support our desire to strengthen our position, or would it weaken it? Nick is looking into that and will give us his opinion before the county commission meets next week. We want to make sure, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but the steering committee wanted to make sure that the county of Rutherford and any other county that has a landfill in it has control and doesn't give up that control. And that's what we understood that the amendment to the Jackson law that's presented in Nashville would do, would allow the new state law or the amended state law to weaken our position of strength. So that's what this resolution does. And if you'll look at that last page, like Commissioner Cush said a minute ago, that's exactly what this thing does, is keeps control. It's not changing anything. It's just trying to keep control at the local level. Times are changing. And we want to make sure that our position is still a position of strength where we have control over what goes on in Rutherford County. So if it passes at the commission level next week, then this committee could decide what we would do with that resolution, whether to pass it on to the regional board. I think they only meet 4 times a year, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they just met, if I'm not mistaken, last night.
Last night.
So it will be another few months before they met. Would have plenty of time to get it to them.
And for clarification, we're sending this resolution to the county commission. And the part about the regional solid waste board being added to it is well, it's dependent on our attorney's opinion whether this will be added or not. So we have the resolution with or without, depending on our attorney's verdict.
I believe that's right, Mr. Chairman. I think the motion was made to approve the resolution as amended by steering. And
Yes.
the one that was steering would said that the county attorney is looking into that addition and will be subject to the county attorney's approval.
We're all clear. Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay.
Good job, you guys. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any shout-outs or any other business? Okay, I'll say it again, I'll say it every month. Please do not litter. Please use your convenience centers and recycle. It's easy to do. Thank you. And there are cookies back here on this back table if any of you want them. That includes the people in the audience too. We stand adjourned.